Hey everybody, it's me, Deborah, here at the Salton Sea, and it's nighttime and it's a little windy outside, so I've got everything closed up, and I thought this might be a good time to show you how I cook. Here we have all of the ingredients for something that I like to make, and what I do is I just take a regular old, in this case 89-cent can of soup, and I use these ingredients to kind of enhance it and make it into something I call stoup, which is not stew, but it's not soup. It's kind of in the middle. And I've got the can of soup to which I add extra spices and ingredients to include some diced onion, some diced celery, some diced carrots, and then a small chicken breast just cubed. What I like to do to enhance the flavor a little bit is to add some of this, it's called pollo, and it's used a lot in Mexican cooking, so I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of that on there. I'm going to let it sit for a while, and then I'll show you how I put everything together. So let's get started cooking, but first, got to put up the windscreen. Let me just take care of that real quick here. I've got my fan turned on for exhaust. Light up the stove. Little EVOO, as Rachel Ray used to say. Remember Rachel Ray? I thought she was so cute. All right, so that's going to heat up. And then I'm going to take just the veggies and I'm going to put them into the pan and give them a little stir fry. Turn the fire down a little. Now we're just going to let that stir up nicely, brown a little bit. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper to it, maybe a touch of garlic. And then we'll make the next step. So things are just cooking away here. And I wanted to mention that if you really want to enhance flavor, sesame oil is a great addition. It's got a kind of sesame seed toasty flavor to it. So just a little bit goes a long way. That was maybe half a teaspoon. And I just stir that up into my little veggies. And as you can see, they're looking nice and grilled. And I just dump them into this pan. Put the pan back on the fire. Okay, just real quick with the chicken, what I've done here is I diced it up and then I added the various spices and things. I've got about a half a teaspoon of garlic. I've got about a teaspoon of that pollo seasoning that we talked about. And I like the Italian-y flavors, so I added a little Italian seasoning. I'm going to dump that into the pan and we're going to get it frying. And while that's cooking away, kind of slowly, we don't want a real high flame. So we're going to let that cook. I'll put the lid on. Unfortunately, I don't have a lid that fits, but that works. Now I'm going to take my soup, I'm going to dump it into my pan with my veggies. I've already enhanced it just by adding more vegetables. Now my secret ingredient is this, and this is garlic mashed potatoes, and it's actually what I use to thicken it into that more of a stew-like consistency that I talked about. So let's let the chicken cook, and we'll throw it all together in a little bit. So I take about a good heaping teaspoon, maybe a little bit more, and you put it in there while the soup is still cold, just like you would if you were making the mashed potatoes, because you want to blend it in. So just by adding the mashed potato mix to the soup, it's starting to thicken, and I haven't even heated it up yet. and when I do, it'll thicken even more. So chicken's done. Take it off the stove. Dump it into the soup. And actually the warmth of the cooked chicken itself will actually help to heat up the soup. Next step is to just set it on the stove and let it simmer for a few minutes. And as you can see, you're ending up with a beautiful, hearty pot of Stoup. One of the things I wanted to be sure and mention is how cost effective this is, how little it really costs for you to make it. I got the can of soup at the Dollar Tree, and I think it was 89 cents, maybe $1. And that's nominal. That's something you keep around. This is $1 at the dollar store or $1 at Walmart. I think this is Walmart brand. And nominal, just pennies for the veggies, because that's stuff that you have around. And you end up with what I think is 2 full bowls of a really hearty soup that's going to not only be nutritious, but taste good and feed you well. Throw in a dinner roll, you're there.